Yo, what's up, YouTube? What is up, Steelers Nation? The Steelers made a couple of big trades. I want to go ahead and talk about it with you guys today. Also, I want to do a midseason grading system of some of our best players here. We'll go over that a little bit more here later on in the video. But to start at the top here, per Adam Scheffler, the Steelers have agreed um, to send a fifth round pick to the Jets in exchange for receiver Mike Williams. Mike Williams wasn't necessarily at the top of my trade board, but nonetheless, this is who we got. No disrespect to Mike Williams. I'm going to go over some different things with him here and why I'm actually feeling really optimistic about this move that the Steelers ended up making. With the new updated trade here, our new updated offense, not bad. We'll be able to slide Mike Williams into the second receiver spot. Him and George will be two downfield threats. We still have Muth. We still have Darnell Washington, Calvin Austin playing in the middle. Maybe we get Van Jefferson involved in the middle a bit more. Um, but not a bad trade, especially for a fifth round pick. We have another speedy receiver that we can pair outside along with George Pickens and a fifth round pick. I mean, that's really not bad compensation for this level of receiver here. So this is all done. So Mike Williams on contested targets since 2018. He's third in receiving grade, second in receptions, and second in yards when it comes to contested targets. So him and George are going to give Russell Wilson two really big, explosive weapons on the outside in order to work with. And I wanted to go over some of his numbers here because if we look at him, he's 6'4", 218. This year he's only got 12 receptions for 166 yards, but he was already the second. You want to call him the second receiver, bumped down to more or less the third receiver once the Devontae Adams trade went through. But we see throughout his career, it's been a bit up and down. He has two 1,000 yard seasons, including an 1,100 yard season in 2021, just a few years ago. 800 yards. Last year he got hurt. He only played 3 games. And then this year we know it's been a bit of a struggle for him. So we are actually getting this receiver with really good value. And as we kind of go through and discuss, because he is a big body receiver, he's going to go up and make the 50-50 catches. Strong hands, quick, tall. I remember him getting drafted to the Chargers. I can't remember what school he's out of, but he was known, to be a big playmaker. And it, like I said, it's been a little bit up and down for him. But the Steelers, we needed a receiver. We didn't get Devontae. We didn't get, Brandon Ayuk. No Thielen. No Nuke. So there was a whole lot of receivers got traded this year. I think it was like 5 receivers had already been traded before we acquired Mike Williams. And I might have been sleeping on this dude a little bit. It's very possible. I was thinking we needed somebody who was more of a route running type of receiver, get open, third downs, all that different stuff. But what the Steelers, what I imagine what they're probably thinking is we got Muth, we got Darnell Washington, we got Calvin Austin, and we got Van Jefferson. If we need somebody to go over the middle and be a possession receiver, we're going to have our tight ends, and we're going to have our other receivers we already have fill into that role. We already see Calvin Austin's really ascending, especially with Russ coming in. He's only been getting better. Pickens' his productivity has really increased. And, unfortunately, we're probably not going to see Roman Wilson this year, but with the addition of Mike Williams, that makes the receiving room look a lot better without Roman Wilson being there. And like I said, we got 2 big body receivers. Both of them can run down the field. Both of them can go up and get the ball. I think there is a lot of value when it comes to that type of receiver because, when you can make these down the field plays, get in the end zone, open up the field, loosen up that 8-man box for Najee to get some running room in. It's only going to help the team move the ball better. It's only going to help us be more consistent. And we know Russ loves his moon ball. And we see that since, Russ has been in there, I think our play action is up like it's 12 times higher than it was. It's some kind of crazy stat how much more we run play action with Russ, especially with him taking snaps under center compared to Justin Fields. So I may have been sleeping on this guy. He's might come in here and blow me away. We know the Commanders that we play after the bye. They just got Lattimore from the Saints. I don't know if he's going to suit up and play against us this week coming up. I don't know if Mike Williams is going to suit up and play for us this week coming up. But the point being is both teams got better. So whoever can get their man incremented faster can maybe get them on Sunday, could potentially have even more of an advantage. So shout out Jensberg, it's Jensberg on that video. Give them a follow on YouTube if you like Steelers content like that, because they make very, very good quality videos. That one was probably a little bit rushed, so the quality on that one wasn't the greatest, but nonetheless, Mike Williams is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I'm happy about it, man. If we, if we consider how much better our offense has been these last couple weeks, this year really compared to last year, but especially these last couple weeks, getting this guy in here, opening up the field more, is really just going to help everybody on the offense eat. So I'm happy about that. And we also made another trade. We got Preston Smith from the Packers. Now, I'm not real familiar with this guy. I'll be completely honest with you. He's a former second round pick back in 2015. So he's 31 years old. He's a little bit older, but we need help at the end. We're good. It's good that we got Alex Highsmith back. I know Nick Herbig will be coming back again here soon. But that's still only 3 people. The Marvin Leal is out for the season, and Moon is more of a special teams player. So this guy is going to give us some good depth behind Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt. 6'5", 265. He's got good size to him. He has 19 tackles and 2.5 sacks already this season. So that's not bad from an edge rusher. Especially when we saw TJ kind of go through his little slump before getting the couple sacks in this last game. I think puts him up to 6 sacks. But this, like I said, this is another guy. He's big body. He's good for depth, and it's going to be exciting having Nick Herbig come back, and then having another proven pass rusher to bolster our defense. So all in all, the trades today make a lot of sense. We weren't able to hit any type of big grand slam home runs or nothing like that, but we made solid moves. We didn't give up a lot of draft capital. We draft very well under the Con era when it comes to really all phases of the draft, but we all know our first and second round picks have been very successful for us here in recent history. Even our third round picks, like this year, I know Roman Wilson hasn't really panned out because of injury, but we got Peyton Wilson in the third round. Last year we got big what's his name, Darnell Washington in the third round. So I get it. They probably didn't want to give up too much draft capital for a number 2 receiver, and I think they were able to find a bit of a happy medium. So I am definitely happy about that. But let me know what you guys think. Was this a good move? Was it a bad move? Would you have swung for a little bit more? Would you have did exactly what the Steelers did and try to keep the draft compensation as manageable as possible? Let me know down below. Comment, like the video, or please like the video, comment below, and let me know what you guys think. So I just wanted to go over a couple of my rankings I have for the team so far. I saw a few people doing things like this. I thought it was pretty fun, especially during, when we had our bye week and we're a little bit lacking for content. So I split this up into 3 categories. We have our first team, which is obviously the best. Our second team, and then we have our honorable mentions, which I'm just going to call the Pro Bowl for, um, for clarity. Just make it things a little bit easier. So to start out our first team, we got Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier, I think, was playing at not only like a rookie All Pro level, like an NFL All Pro level from the beginning of the season. He's missed these last couple of games. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to be able to pick up right back where he left off after this bye week. Dude's a mauler. Dude's nasty. He plays in the trenches. He punishes people, throws them down, doesn't give up on the block. He is a really good player. It's a good thing that we kind of sat and waited and got him in the second round rather than reaching for a center in the first round because we really found a diamond in the rough in this guy, and I think he's going to be good for a long time. Next, I had Pat Fryermuth. Muth may not have like the best numbers compared to some of the top tight ends in the league, but I think it was like the Dallas game or the Colts game. He was the only reason we were getting in the end zone. He had like 2 touchdowns. He had the one-handed grab. Russ's first game down the sideline. Every game he's had at least like two catches for like 20, 25 yards. He's found the end zone a few times. He's been trying a lot harder in the blocking game, which earns a lot of respect from me. He's tough. You see him just get smacked around. He just gets up and keeps going. And I think Muth is a very solid player. We gave him some money, and I think locking him up was a good move. And I think Pat is going to be a good tight end for the near future. And the dude has his own chant at the state. I know it's off of Heath, but you hear Muth catch a ball, and all you hear is Muth, whether you're at home or on the road. So he's got to be up there. The next one might be a little bit controversial for first team, but it's Najee Harris, man. Najee had a slow start to the season, but I don't think it was as bad as what we were thinking. I think it was just more or less of the teams just kind of crowding the box and trying to force us to throw the ball, and we just said we're going to run into this brick wall anyway. And we see in these last couple of games with Russ under center and the box opening up a bit, opening up a bit more. Najee's getting the chance to really get in there and eat. His over 100 yards for 3 straight games. He had 2 straight games of a touchdown, didn't score this past game. But Najee's really been cooking, and he's been playing so well here of lately that he's changed the narrative of not bringing him back at all to, well, maybe we should bring him back. So I don't know if Najee will want to come back after us not picking up his 5th-year extension, but if we spin it and say, hey, we just didn't want to sign you for 1 year, we want to sign you for 3. That could possibly work. I know running backs aren't as expensive as they used to be, so Najee Harris, first team. Next I have is Calvin Austin, which might sound like a surprise, but if you factor in both his offensive work plus his special teams, Calvin's first team on my book. I think he's got 2 or 3 receiving touchdowns so far. He had the punt return touchdown this past week. He's had a few field flipping returns, and he's been close to breaking one, and he finally did this past week. So Calvin Austin, I think the future's bright for this guy. I think he's going to have a hell of a season. So Calvin Austin gets my first team grade. Next is we're going over to the defense. So I have Cam Hayward, big Cam Hayward, making that contract extension look better and better every single game. He looks fresh. He looks healthy. He looks strong. He's like the number 1 or number 2 rush defender in the entire league per PFF, which I know we don't like them, but they rated one of our guys high, so we got to make mention of that. So Cam Hayward's been balling out this season. TJ Watt, I mean, I don't think there's really anything I need to say. Even if he's not getting the sacks, he's punching the ball out and, containing the run, setting the edge. TJ Watt's the best player in the NFL. He's by far the best defensive player of the year. I know stats may not warrant a defensive player of the year as of right now, but there's a lot of games left, so be on the lookout for TJ Watt. The next person I have is Joey Porter Jr. Every week I seem like I hear some people saying, I don't think this was his best game. I don't think this was his best game. But you look at the stats, he got targeted like 3 times, 4 times. He might have let up like one pass underneath. He's got a pick this year against Dallas. He's a number 1 corner. He's always taken the toughest matchup, and I don't think that can be understated because if you remember some years back, Ike Taylor got a little bit longer in the tooth. He would always guard the number 1 receiver, and he would traditionally get torched. So this is older Ike Taylor, not prime Ike Taylor. But I think that there's a lot to be said for that. A lot of respect he gains from me for that. So JPJ is on my first team. Deshaun Elliott, Pittsburgh Steelers safety, man. That guy right there. He can defend the run. He can defend the pass. He can come up and lay hits. He can just get stops in the backfield. He's just an all-around playmaker. He plays with his hair on fire, and he allows Minka to go back and play in coverage. So I can't. There's no understating how important that is to let Minka kind of roam. And we saw on some of these big run plays, or somebody gets past the first line of defense, a lot of times Minka's able to chase him down because he's playing the back half of the field. So Deshaun Elliott, he's been balling out this whole season, and I think he's one of the most impactful signings that we've had of the offseason. And from there, we're going to special teams. Chris Boswell, the brass balled Boswell. I don't think there's really much to be said for him. He scored all 18 points in our home in the game in the opening game for us against the Falcons. I think there's another game. I can't remember if it's the Colts game, or there's another game in the Justin Fields games that he made over 4 field goals. The last remaining Killer Bee, I saw that people were trying to go through and remake a new version of the Killer Bees, which I thought was pretty cool. But Chris Boswell, there's no way he's not making first team. He honestly might be the best kicker in the league, with Justin Tucker having his slump, which I always thought Chris Boswell was already right there with Justin Tucker. But with him kind of slipping, I think Bos is right up there. I know Kansas City has a really good kicker. There's a couple other good kickers in the league, but I will take Chris Boswell any day. He will always be my first choice for kicker. And then lastly, Danny Smith. I don't know how you don't like this guy. We all saw where, the players all were celebrating with Danny Smith after a punt block. I think we have like 4 block kicks. I think it's like, we have like 2 block punts and 2 block field goals. Minka should have 2 more blocks. I think I think Minka got 2 block field goals this year that both got called back on bullshit. So our special teams has really been balling, and a big part of that is the chewing gum killer, the guy who lifts in the locker room with his shirt off with the players at like 70 years old. Danny Smith, you make my first team. All right. Should have used a better notepad. All right, so on to our second team, starting with the offense. Dan Moore Jr., can you believe it? We were trying to run this guy out of town for the last several years, and I don't know. I mean, he's not perfect. He's not the best left tackle in the world, but, man, he's been solid. He's been quietly, and when I say quietly, that's good if you're not hearing a lot, because we hear a lot from Broderick Jones. We don't hear a lot from, Dan Moore Jr. I think he's having a fantastic year. He's making a case to stay the starting left tackle, even when Troy Fautanu comes back. He's making a case to keep that left tackle job. He's been having a hell of a year, and I wanted to shout out Dan Moore Jr. because I know he's gotten a lot of flack over the last few years. For me too. I'm not innocent here. I've definitely had a lot to say about the man over the last couple of years, but he's having a great year. I also have Mason McCormick on there. 4th round pick out of San Diego State. And James Daniels, one of our better offensive line, one of our only, veteran offensive linemen, one of our only, offensive linemen who's really making real money, goes down. He's out for the season. Mason McCormick steps in, and I think he's been balling, man. He's eccentric. You see him celebrating with the team a lot, and I think he's very solid. I think he's been playing really good, especially for being a 4th round pick rookie. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Also, big Mount Washington, Darnell Washington. I think he's having a great year. I know his receiving numbers aren't anything, spectacular. He does have a touchdown, which is awesome. But you get this guy the ball and let him go. Good luck to the DBs and people who have to tackle him. That's a lot of guy to have to tackle. So, and plus it can't be understated what he does in the blocking game for us. You see him out there, man. He looks like a 6 offensive lineman. He's huge. But not only can he be an amazing blocking, which he even said on Arthur Mertz's podcast that he likes to block. Not only is he a great blocker, he's got soft hands, and once he gets rolling, people do not want to tackle that guy. So I wanted to show him some love. I also have Russell Wilson slash Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields balled out for 6 games. I think Russ has balled out for the last 2 games. I don't think you can really say anything bad about either one of them. Maybe like a little stretch here and there. Maybe didn't exactly love what you saw from them, but there's no way that either one of them wasn't making my second team. I think Fields can be our future. I think Russ can be our right now. And ever since we've inserted Russ, granted it's a small sample size, it's very apparent what our offenses look like compared to what it's looked like in the past. I'm not talking Justin Fields. I'm just talking in general since like 2019, since Ben had that season-ending injury. Um, I also have George Pickens on here. He would definitely be first team, but we know what was going on through the season. He was frustrated. He had a couple games where he wasn't putting up very many numbers. He had a couple games where he was essentially benched. So George Pickens, I think he's one of the best in the world, one of the best 50-50 ball catchers, that I've ever seen. So I have no doubt that by the end of the season, he's going to be on first team. After that, I have Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith would also be on first team, but we know he's missed a few games due to injury. But we saw this past game, he had 2 sacks. The man's a game wrecker. Him and TJ are the best edge duo in the league. I don't think it's even close. He also is very underrated when it comes to his run stopping, setting the edge. He's huge. He's a freak of nature. Dude's a monster. So Alex Highsmith is on my second team. I also have Minka on my second team. I know that one might be a little controversial because Minka has not had a pick in almost 2 years. But Minka's a hell of a ball player. They don't throw the ball at him. If they do, it's always underneath. He just has to come up and make the tackle. You don't see teams trying to try him to the outside, the inside, or deep. And I think that just is respect for how good of a player he is. But believe you and me, I would love to see him get another pick. I'd love to see him get another pick 6. Minka's a ball player. There's a reason why he's first team multiple years in a row. So there's a lot of games left. Minka's on my second team, and I only expect him to finish the season strong. I also have Dante Jackson on my second team. The man has 3 picks. He gives up some plays here and there. Yeah, he got hurt, had to miss some time. I don't think he even missed. He may have missed 1 game, maybe a half a game. I don't even think it was a full game. But the very first game of the season against Kurt, he got a pick, and he's got 2 more since then. He's almost had a couple since then, too. So him and JPJ are, ever since we had Stevenson and Joe Hayden, I think these are our best 2 corner combos that we've had since then. Beanie Bishop, I couldn't go without him being on my second team. 3 picks in 2 games. Dude's been balling. The only reason he's on my second team and not the first because he did struggle earlier in the season. He's an undrafted, free agent rookie. So, that was to be expected. But the more reps he's got, you can tell he's getting more comfortable. You can tell he's reading the quarterback. He's playing the zones. And he's opportunistic, man. That one-handed pick he had against Aaron Rodgers was unbelievable. The catch off the ricochet. And then I think even last week when he got that pick, I think it was another tipped pass that he caught. So dude has good reflexes. He has good hands. And he is on my second team. And finishing out my second team is another special teams player, Courtlis Waltman. I hope I'm not butchering his name. It was sad when Bill Burr got hurt. I know I kind of panicked because I was like, man, we finally have a really good punter. No disrespect to Presley Harvin. But I was like, man, this dude's really, really a good punter. But he went down. Corliss, that's how you say it. Corliss Waltman has come in, and I mean, dude, he's been kicking the ball really, really good. So I mean, if he doesn't come back to us and we bring back Bill Burr, which I think we probably should, he's played himself into a contract. Somebody somewhere is going to sign that dude. He has been playing very well. He's been placing his kicks really well, allowing our team to go down there and cover, not getting blocked, and then also dropping some balls in within the 20-yard line. And not getting too many touchbacks, if at all. Maybe the first game he had a touchback or two, but I swear since then it's been really, really clean. So shout out to him. And then lastly here, we have our honorable mentions or our Pro Bowl. I'll run through these real quick. Isaac Sayamalu, he would be higher, but he missed time due to injury. Scotty Miller, he just doesn't get a lot of opportunity, but I think he played really solid for us. He got a big third down in one of those games. I can't remember to help us win. It might have been the Chargers game. He's a good special teams player. Russ hit him in the numbers with that ball last game. For it would have been a deep pass. If we'd have caught that, he probably would have been on my second team. But I like Scotty Miller. So after that, Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson had a very rocky start to the season. He's getting mean. People are saying he's just a warm body on the field. He's figuratively there. He's not literally there. Man, the jokes are flying, but I give him a lot of credit. He kept his head down. He didn't bark back. He didn't make a stir. He didn't throw a fit. He said that he was, catching like 200-300 balls off the jugs machine after practice every day. I know he works with Russ. Just very respectable. So for that, he makes my Pro Bowl team. Keanu Benton, I know we were all expecting him to have a big breakout year, but when Cam Hayward's balling like he is, when Larry Ogunjobi's balling like he is, he just hasn't had as many opportunities. But I've definitely seen him out there. He's got a couple pass breakups as a nose tackle, which is really impressive. Or he might be a defensive tackle, I don't know. But he's been playing very solid. And on that same note, Larry Ogunjobi, he has a couple sacks this season. He probably should have made my second team, but he's been a little quiet these last couple weeks. I don't know if he's maybe a little bit hobbled, but I think he's been really solid. Patrick Queen slash Peyton Wilson are two athletic linebackers. I think they're both leaving a bit to be desired. I know people are saying that about Patrick Queen, that he's potentially been a bust. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's just, we have high expectations for him. And I think he still has time to kind of go and be that Patrick Queen that we saw in Baltimore. I also have Elandon Roberts. The dude's a thumper. He's forced a couple fumbles. He's good in the run game. He's good at finding the hole that the running back's looking to run through to get positive yardage, and he gets them in the backfield. So I had to make sure I had him on the list. And then lastly, I have Nick Herbig. He would have definitely been on the second team too, but unfortunately, he also got hurt. He's missed I think the last 3 or 4 games. But he went off in that Chargers game. He's very, very good, and I believe he's also going to be back after this bye week. So it'll be great to have him there, especially with us having, our new, our new edge rusher we just traded for from the Patriots, Preston. So, hey, it's looking up here. It's looking up for Steelers Nation. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you made it to this point of the video, you are a real one. I do appreciate you. If you agree with anything I've said today, disagree, think I'm stupid, think I'm right on, just leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Please like the video, subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. I make Steelers videos every week, usually twice a week. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, but thank you again, and we'll catch you later.